We are here with legend Peter Svidler in the fan zone at the 2024 Candidates. First of all, Peter, how has your experience in the Candidates been this year?
Tense. This has been a very tense tournament. It looks to be very tense till the very end. So not unexpected, but yeah, that would be the word I'd choose.
And you are, of course, a very experienced candidate yourself. You've played in 3, am I right? And what was your best result?
I tied for third in London, and also in a tournament that was the same structure but wasn't called the Candidates. I tied for second with Anand in 2005. But that was the World Championship, even though it was an 8-player double round robin anyway. So I've had some decent-ish results, but in both of those events, somebody else was running away with it, so I wasn't really in the fight for first as such.
But you do have a lot of experience with crucial games and winning when it's needed, especially your final game against Magnus in black in 2013.
Yeah, that was an interesting memory. I still remember feeling like maybe more than potentially any other game I played, although that maybe is overstating it a little bit, but not by much. You felt like you were part of a theater performance, you know, because there was this whole storyline of Magnus playing me, but also playing against Vlad, who was playing his black game against Vasily Ivanchuk, and they constantly had to watch how each other was doing. And it was, of course, a lot more difficult for them than it was for us sitting opposite and only playing our game. But you did get the feeling that you were part of something incredibly dramatic. And the game itself really wasn't bad at all either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you won, you beat Magnus, but it sounds like it was a movie.
Yeah, it really did. It rarely does feel like a movie, honestly. But that, I think, could have, like that last round could have been made into a short. Yeah.
And I want to talk about the pressure of such a high-stakes tournament and keeping your mental agility and physical health until the very end. Because, of course, players get tired, fatigue comes in, and some aren't doing too well. How do you handle the pressure? How do you keep yourself at 100?
I don't think that anybody does, honestly. I don't like if somebody tells you at the end of this 14-round tournament that they feel as fresh as they did before the round one. I would assume they're lying. I really would assume they're lying. But you do what you can to stay sort of as charged as possible. You go on walks. I don't know. These days I try to do some exercise and what have you. But yeah, it's incredibly taxing, both physically and mentally. And yeah, staying on top until the end, I think, is maybe the biggest challenge, actually, considering how much is at stake and how long these event tournaments are.
And we had a few interviews before the start of this tournament with all the candidates, and one of my questions to them was, how would you compare the candidates tournament to other tournaments? Of course, you've played in high-level prestige tournaments around the world, 8-time Russian champion. You know, you've got some experience. What would you say, other than coming out on top, just one winner being most important, what would you say are the biggest differences?
Well, that is the biggest difference. It's outside of the World Championship match, the title match, which not everybody gets to play in their career. Yeah, hello. This is the most pressure you can be under in competitive chess because you are one step away from that pinnacle. And the fact that you're playing in a winner-takes-all format, which is not always the case in chess tournaments, obviously. Even in the World Cup, obviously winning the World Cup is the goal, but these days World Cup is also part of the cycle, and if you get to the final, you've qualified for the Candidates, so in a way you've already achieved something having gotten to the final. Whereas here, as you know, and I'm aging myself here quite wonderfully. What was that movie called? Over the Top, yeah? The Sylvester Stallone flick, which you wouldn't have seen. You're a bit too young for that. Yes, yeah. Second place is nothing, as the quote goes. So, yeah, that situation where you absolutely have to play for first and nothing else really matters more or less at all. Considering the caliber of people who get to this tournament, they are not here to earn some money. They are here to try and win and get a title shot. Yeah, it makes it unlike anything else.
Well, thank you, Peter. It was great seeing you here in a different capacity as being a player, and I hope we see you in many more candidates in the future.
Thank you very much.